What's up, guys? Maxwell Ventura, realtor with the District Group. Today I'm going to be talking about micro transitions and why they are so important, especially in today's society that we live in, and the 3 steps that you can take to improve your micro transition. So first, what's the difference between a micro and a macro transition? Well, you guessed it, macro is going to be a larger portion. So an example could be just as simply as getting in the car to go to work, taking your lunch break, and then driving back home. And whereas a micro transition is extremely more important because we have about 70 of them, give or take, on any given workday. Okay, so micro transition could be as simple as sipping a drink of your coffee, drinking water, getting up to go to the bathroom, answering texts, answering a phone call, notifications on your phone, switching between tasks. Every single little thing that we do. And here's why it's so important, because our sense of distraction is so easily amplified now than it was 20 years ago or even 10 years ago, right? They're saying that every single year our attention span is actually shortening, which is why focus is becoming an increasingly more important skill in the workforce. Okay, so that's why clarity is actually going to be one of the biggest assets of a top or a high performer. Okay, so the 3 steps you can take. Number 1, take stock. We've all heard this: what gets measured gets managed. Okay, the white space on the calendar is something that we want to avoid. So with greater clarity, we're able to take stock of what are our distractions currently. If we don't sit down and think about it and increase our level of awareness, then how can we fix it? Okay, so number 1 is take stock. Number 2, cut back. Once you have taken stock and you see where you have the ability to cut back, now it's time to do so. Okay, so a little bit of review, eliminate, dispose of the waste, and it's also super important to take breaks throughout the day as well. Okay, which goes right into step number 3, which is recognize potential. During the day, you can get a lot done in just a short amount of time if you really think about it. There's a technique that I'd like to share with you guys. It's called the Pomodoro technique, and what that implies is 25 minutes of laser focus time with a 5-minute break. Okay, so you're going to do 4 of these in a row, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, and then you'll take your longer half-an-hour break. And you will be amazed at how much work you can get done in that short amount of time. I'm sure you've all heard of the flow state by now. The flow state is starting to make its rounds as a new let's just call it a biohack for improved productivity. Okay, you can get in a flow state extremely quickly. Okay, it's when you're laser focused, you have total absorption in whatever the task is that you're doing. It could be work, it could be art, it could be playing a sport, it could be music, it could be creating something. Total immersion to the point where your brain waves actually start to change, and you have a distortion of the sense of time. So that can be done with this Pomodoro technique. You can actually get into a flow state like that, but the main ability or component of being in a flow state is eliminating distraction. So just to review, we want to take stock, we want to cut back what we don't need, and then we want to recognize potential. Micro transitions. Think about this in your day today, guys. Increased level of awareness. Where can you improve? Hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.